joining me, Claire Baker, former Clutterholic, founder of clutterclearing.net, bringing you my weekly vlog about my own clutter clearing journey, my weight loss journey. Now, last week I recorded a video because I had made a commitment to do that, and I wasn't very well. Had the flu. Just coming to the end of it, I think. It's kind of on my chest, and I've got the headache as well. Which is both of them are slowing me down a bit. So there's not a huge amount really to report in terms of weight loss this week. Well, maybe there is, because there's some learning and feedback that's actually gone on. I really did rest, and I find that really hard. It's funny, Monday is wash day in our house, and there wasn't an awful lot of clothes for me because it was basically pyjamas that I lived in last week. Got dressed today, yesterday, and Sunday, which felt like a bit of a result. Did overdo it on Sunday. Felt better, got out, cleaned the bathroom, and hoovered around because the house was looking like a bomb had hit it, just to try and get rid of the worst of it. And I think I felt guilty as well because my husband's got it and he's had to carry on working throughout, getting up early, going out during the day. He hasn't had an opportunity to completely give into it like I have. At the weekend, he was having to do work to catch up from what he hadn't been able to do during the week because of weather. Excuse me. So he's got the cough, a horrendous cough, and I'm protecting this weekend for him like mad to make sure that he does have a couple of days. He'll probably get fed up after a while, but there is only so much Say Yes to the Dress and Columbo that you can watch. Getting to the point where Say Yes to the Dress, I was hang on, I've seen that one. Yes, it's I'm coming out of it. I wouldn't say I'm back to doing full days. I'm maintaining. I'm doing what needs to be done work-wise, working with my accountability private clients. But it has given me an opportunity to think of other things as well, which I'll come on to a bit. Completely out of my routine. That's why I'm not sharing my success factors. I haven't been to the gym now for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I am really missing it. I am feeling very sluggish, which I'm sure doesn't help. Don't know if you have this, but after I've had a bug, I almost reach a point where it's I'm so out of routine that you have to force yourself to kind of get back into routine, because it's not that you're ill anymore. It's just that you've got a bit lazy. Taking it carefully though. I don't want to go back to the gym before I'm ready. So it'll probably be the end of the week. My husband and I have been talking as well about whether or not we do continue with going early in the morning rather than in the evening, because I have noticed a pattern. Yes, we do. We have been working in the evening, but feeling very sluggish once we do finish work, and that is a hot spot, potential problem. Sitting down and kind of just wanting to eat. So it's easier for me to stick to my fast days if we go to the gym on those days. So it may be that the early morning gym sessions don't work out. He also doesn't get a chance to have breakfast if we go to the gym, because then he goes straight off to work and he doesn't get home till 9, half 9. So he needs a bit of fuel. I can survive without breakfast, but he needs a bit of fuel. Also, haven't been doing my weekly shopping challenge. If you are a clutter clearer, you will know what the shopping challenge is, which I really enjoy. Excuse me. Oh, it's that phlegm stuck in my throat. So planning meals and buying what we need to buy. So I have been putting together a huge Sainsbury's to you home delivery grocery shop, which is household and food. There's literally nothing in the house to eat, which is probably why it hasn't helped with the weight. So looking forward to hitting the button on ordering. It's nearly £500 worth of food, but that will keep us going for the month. I do a big shop every month anyway. It's exacerbated by the fact that we haven't done a weekly shop for 2 weeks. So everything is really, really low. It is almost like doing a shop again. My husband has been going out or coming on his way home each day. He's actually been buying pills, ibuprofen and paracetamol. There's no point in taking anything else. So every 2 hours, it's alternating between paracetamol and ibuprofen. Because we're both taking them, we're getting through like a packet of each day. So he comes home. He's been coming home via the supermarket to get drugs and food. We've very much been living day to day, and that's not good because it tends to be quick and easy stuff, which isn't necessarily suitable for me. I was sticking to my fasting for the first few days, but then I thought, well, hang on a minute, I feel like I need more. I don't know whether that's just psychological. Is that me just making an excuse to eat more? I don't know. So yeah, there's very, very much out of routine. Looking forward to getting back into routine. Who knew? I did, however, this week compared to last week, I have lost 1.5 pounds. Don't know how that happened. Because I think it was last Tuesday actually, my husband bought me the best medication, Häagen-Dazs strawberry cheesecake ice cream. Ate the whole tub. I can never not eat the whole tub. Gatsby and Stanley did quite enjoy licking out the tub. Stanley, who is long haired, he's ginger, he's long haired. He literally stuck his head in the pot, and so when it came out, it had drips of ice cream on his fur. And then Dora went up and started licking him because she was licking the Häagen-Dazs that was on his fur. It was so cute. I guess she had to be there. Yeah, a whole tub of Häagen-Dazs strawberry cheesecake ice cream, which in Weight Watchers terms used to be my whole day's allowance of points. So yeah, how I managed to lose 1.5 pounds this week, I don't really know, because I have pretty much eaten quite a lot compared to what I used to, and I have eaten carbs and sugar because you know, trying to ask my husband to buy the right kinds of foods when he's not feeling well himself. He needed to go into the supermarket, get what he needed, get the drugs, and then come home. So yeah, so quite pleased that I lost 1.5 pounds. Husband has been much busier with work, so that's good. He's happier, I'm happier. The life of the self-employed is such that you can go through phases from one week to the next. You don't know whether it's going to be busy. I'm lucky. I work with my clients for a minimum of 3 months, so at least there's some steadiness there. But with my husband, it is kind of ebbs and flows. Can only ever really see a week, 2 weeks ahead, so that's good. I did see Marissa, my counsellor, last week. Now, you may remember that I was in a bit of a quandary, worried about the overthinking. And basically, she reassured me, it's okay. Sorry. It's okay that I've put on weight. She has kind of given me a pass, as it were, for 2 weeks. So I'm a week into that. I've got a week left to be ill. And then it is definitely 100% back on the programme, no excuses. I love it. This is what I do with my clients. So yeah, so that's good. Again, it probably is partly the overthinking. She has reminded me that I can, when I'm on the programme, I can lose 14 pounds, which is what I need to lose, a stone, to get back to where I was. I can do that very quickly and very easily when I'm on the programme. So once I've done this big shop, got loads of suitable foods in the house, then I'll be back on the programme. I'll be back in keto. It'll all be good. The irony is that I've been eating carbs and sugar, and it hasn't made me feel good. And I have so noticed that you eat carbs, you eat sugar, and then it feels like it's straight away, but it is probably about half an hour later, I'm hungry again. And I suppose I hadn't appreciated that as much as I have over these last couple of weeks. So again, this learning is very valuable. She also reminded me that I am in a period of emotional adjustment in relation to my parents. As I've shared with you, I did have a light bulb moment, significant moment over Christmas. Last year broke all the financial ties that we have had all our married life with my parents. Christmas, what happened, I finally accepted that I'm never going to have a relationship with them. That's okay. They're on their journey, I'm on my journey. They're just in different directions. And I'm also going through a phase of seeing my past for what it was, rather than what I wished it was. If you've ever worked with me, if you've seen other videos, you'll know that I am an annoyingly positive person. And I was very much like that with my family as well. Looking for that. Maybe that's why I'm such a positive person. I can find a positive even in a negative. Whereas now, those rose-tinted glasses aren't as rose-tinted. Don't get me wrong, my childhood, was what it was. It wasn't, I was in a financially very lucky family, but the emotional element was not there. And I can say that now and say that's okay. It is what it is. It was what it was. That's fine. It's all contributed to who I am today. I'm not bitter or angry about it anymore. But part of that seeing it for what it is, is an adjustment. So excuse me. So very much still in this period of adjustment, kind of getting used to feeling free, having a freedom, and it's okay, and the future can be whatever I want it to be. It's exciting, scary, not feeling that I have that safety net there anymore. Not that I actually did. Marissa said something to me that I always remember somebody that I worked with years ago said to me, and it always stuck in my mind. So it resonated when she said it again last week. I have succeeded despite my parents, not because of them. Which is very, very telling, because I know that for my parents, education was really, really important for them, and that was a contribution. But my personal opinion is that if you have that seed, if you are that kind of personality, if you're determined, you will succeed anyway. I don't think your education makes a huge difference. Me having my maths GCSE, taking it a year early, I don't think that makes any difference whatsoever to where I am now. My degree makes no difference to where I am now. But again, that's fine. In their generation, education did make a huge difference. Anyway. So lot of realizations having this time. Oh, this cough. Last couple of things. I've realised that I am in the equivalent, if we're relating my weight loss journey to clutter clearing journey, I'm in an equivalent area of my weight loss where my home has got messy and untidy. But that's not the same as cluttered. Clutter are objects that we don't need, we don't use, don't have a clearly defined home, and are not organised. Messy is where there are things that are just not where they belong. But we do use them, we do need them. They do have a clearly defined home. So I'm in the equivalent of messy with my weight loss. I haven't done enough damage yet. I'm not cluttered. Yes, I have accumulated some weight, but that's just because I haven't been in a position to clear that, if that makes sense. So it's a bit like, I do need to buy food, But it's the equivalent of I haven't taken the rubbish out, I haven't put the trash out, just because I haven't been well enough to do that. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense at all? So I don't need to panic or overreact. Again, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Seeing it for what it is really important. 3 things that I've learned or realised while I've had a ridiculous amount of thinking time. I realised, thinking back to when I was ill, in my teens and early 20s, I had glandular fever and ME. Now, I think I've probably mentioned before that looking back, I actually think that was childhood depression. I think that was a literal physical symptom of the environment, the unemotional environment that I was brought up in. I am not saying that people who have glandular fever and ME are all the same. I believe for me, that is the label that was put to it. But I do think it was actually my way of reacting and dealing with an unemotional home. Because I used to comfort eat when I was off sick. My mother wasn't the kind of mother who would come up and, are you okay? Check on me, all that kind. It was very functional. Right, it's time for tablets, take tablets. I remember sneaking down into the kitchen and stealing food out of the fridge. I particularly remember stealing chocolate out of the larder. And my mum would do a lot of stews. They were really nice. Stews, very brown. And the leftovers would be in a bowl in the fridge. And I remember sneaking downstairs and literally spoonfuls of that, eating that out of the fridge. Funny what you remember, isn't it? We used to have fruit bars as well, and I'd steal them out of the cupboard. And if my mother ever mentioned anything, I don't know. But I was stealing food. Now I think that was probably because I wasn't getting, the comfort and the nurturing from my mum. The substitute was food. I've talked about my food being a substitute before. So yeah. So that's quite interesting to sort of look back and sort of see a pattern, as it were, because I know I've been eating more than I need to while I've been ill. Another pattern I've noticed, and I am going to draw this on the board, so I do apologise. Can you see that? Yes. Is that with my weight loss? As you know, I've done Weight Watchers twice before, and always put the weight on and put on more weight. And if we say that this is my goal, this line is my goal weight, what I've done is I've lost, then plateaued, and then started to put weight back on again. And I said this to Marissa when I saw her. And my concern was that, I'd done that great weight loss year before last. What year was that? 2016. And that, 2016. And that last year, I plateaued really. I didn't lose a lot of weight. And I was worried that I was starting to do this bit again, the climb, because I've done that before. I've done that twice with Weight Watchers, once when I was a teenager. So I was worried that I was repeating my pattern. And Marissa pointed out, that's great. There's a pattern. You're aware of it. And she said, and I'm not going to let you do this. That's why she's given me a 2-week pass. Not going to let you do that. That's why she's there. She said, you've got the things in place. You've got the support in place that you need. And I think as well, this is a pattern we can go through with our clutter, isn't it? We not blitz it, but blitz it. And then we might plateau and maintain. And then the clutter starts to creep back again. It's amazing that 2 years on, those habits are still there. It might also explain why I have a couple of clients who I have actually been having weekly accountability calls for years. One I clocked up the other week was 7 years. Another one is 5, because they need that weekly accountability to at least do their paperwork, weekly paperwork, clutter clearing sessions. So yeah, so until it becomes, you know, an automatic habit. So I'm aware of my pattern, which means that I'm less likely to repeat that pattern. I've got the support. When I've done this in the past, I haven't had the support. I've waited till I've got back up there or further up on the weight scale before I've acknowledged there's a problem and then dealt with it and then back again. I'm not going to go through this cycle again because I have all the support. I have the knowledge, the understanding. I know what to do to make sure that actually, yeah, I might have plateaued a bit, but guess what? This year I'm going to get to that goal line. This is the bit that I've never done before. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm gonna aim to do that this year. So that's my pattern. Noticed it, and because I have the support of the counsellor, Marissa, I won't be going back up again. I might have gone up a little bit, but you know what? I can deal with that. And the other thing that I've learned or realised while I've been incapacitated, perhaps the word, is it has actually enabled me to figure out. I think I mentioned to you that I was struggling with how to convey to people that clutter clearing is a journey that takes on average a year for people to deal with, regardless of how much clutter you have. And I think that's the hardest thing for me to have acknowledged. Hoarders have always taken on average a year to clear their clutter, and then they've had another year of support to maintain. But actually people with any levels of clutter, more than if they've got 2 or more rooms to clear that are significantly cluttered, then it's going to take them at least a year. Now, it might not take them a year to clear the clutter, but it's going to take them a year to get that lifestyle change, the habits and everything that they need in order to maintain it. Otherwise, they're going to be doing the same thing. I think I almost didn't want to admit that to myself because, you know, trying to say to people, look, you need to give yourself a year. That's hard. When somebody says, oh, but I've only got 2 rooms or 3 rooms that are cluttered, and it's not that bad. Yeah, I know. And it may only take you 3 months or 6 months to clear it, the way that we do it with clutter clearing. But you need that ongoing support in order to create the habits and get that long-term permanent change. Just like me with my weight loss journey. The parallels. Who knew? Anyway, I've bawbled on enough, coughed at you enough. I'm on the mend. And I'm sure that by this time next week I will be recording a video saying, yay, I'm back. And hopefully, touch wood, back at the gym, which will make me feel better, eating the right foods. And so I'm going to take this week is the first week of like, right, next week weigh-in is kind of the start of my 2018 year. That is going to be my benchmark from, that's where I'm starting this year. And we're going to go downwards from there. Going to carry that curve all the way to the goal line. Yay! Okay. Do let me know how you're getting on. As you know, your support, your comments do really help me. Love Brenda's comments. So I will see you next week when I will be fully fit, fully recovered, back with the programme, back properly with some proactive stuff for clutter clearing. Next stop is Easter. Not long till Easter. Have a lovely Valentine's Day if you do celebrate it tomorrow. I don't. My husband does nice things every day, like getting me drugs of ibuprofen and paracetamol. To me, those little things matter more. So we don't celebrate Valentine's Day because love is an action that you live each day rather than on just one day or concentrated in one day. So we don't celebrate it, but if you do, have a nice day. I will let the cats know that I love them. They'll get an extra stick as a treat. All right, I definitely shut up now. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.